Hi, everybody. You know where we like to start. The good old bear. Shifting and turning. The turning is the driver. The shifting just follows. Use one side at a time to turn. So draw the whole body towards the leg that the weight is shifting into. Then draw the whole body towards the other leg as the weight shifts there. So this is a drawing towards the leg and a releasing of the emptying leg, not a pushing out from the full leg. So draw yourself towards the leg you're turning towards. I turn to the left, I shift to the left. I turn to the right, I shift to the right. I'm making this little pinching motion with my hands. So to help you see, this is the active set of muscles that are pulling me that way. And watch that motion play out through the whole body. If you did our first Sunday practice, we spent a lot of time on how a change in the dantian and waist area plays out through the arms and legs. One motion that plays out through the whole body. So as you're doing this simple turning back and forth, feel that turning play out through your arms. The arm that swings in front of you is filling, and then it empties and just falls. Using this to get softer and more relaxed every time you turn. Another swing or two. Great. Let's do a first third to warm up. And go ahead. Okay, we're going to work on grass sparrow's tail today. And in the Chinese model, the most important things come first. So I'll tell the story, but if you, Chinese mysteries, the whodunits work differently than ours. In ours, the author of a mystery tries to keep the answer to the mystery hidden from the reader so that you're surprised by it at the very end. Chinese mystery novels do it just the opposite way. It's laid out right at the very beginning. You know who did it. And then the enjoyment of the story is watching the characters in the story figure it out or not at the end. So the important things come first. In the form, obviously, the first move, and then grasp sparrow's tail up to single whip. So if we look at the portions of the form that really have the essence of the art, it's right there in grasp sparrow's tail and single whip, and the opening move. So we're going to spend this morning working on grasp sparrow's tail. So let's take it right from the top. Do it with me a couple times, and then we'll stop and we'll look at all of the little pieces of it. So we'll take it right from the very top. Shifting the weight and stepping. Shift. Turn to the front, 50-50. Unlocked knee position. First one. Feeling from your feet all the way out to your fingertips. Everything comes back in. Elbows slide back, wrists drop, fingertips awake. Wrists gradually straightening as the hands come down. Okay, this is where grasp sparrow's tail begins. Shift to the left and turn to the right, a ball of air. Shift all your weight forward, releasing the left foot. Turn to the front corner and step. Shift. Last minute, turn your waist, rear foot on heel, ward off left. Continue. Turning to the right, a ball of air. Stepping. Shift. And turn, ward off right. Weight down into the front foot. Sit back. As you sit back, left palm turns up, left ring finger by the side of the right elbow. Turn from the right corner to the left. Keep turning, arms swing. Turn back to the front. Oh, I forgot to say that was roll back. And now press. Sit back 100%, palms turn down, elbows drop into rear root. Push forward. Push. Okay, we're going to do a bunch of posture holding today. And the thing about posture holding, one of the things about posture holding, is you're going to notice your legs. If we were in class, I could look around and see people in class and suggest to you that you sit down more and watch for the standing up. So one of the things that happens is you're holding a posture and you're sitting in a nice deep stance. And as you do that, your body says, couldn't we make this a little easier? And you start standing up. So be aware of that tendency and don't do it. Stay down. So when we're holding postures here, sit down. When your legs start killing you, sit down some more. Give yourself 2 or 3 breaths down, and then get up and shake your legs out. So you're only cheating yourself by letting this gradually come up. And when you're sitting down there, the first time that you start to feel uncomfortable, you're holding ward off left, you start to feel uncomfortable, it's easy to want to take a break then. Don't do that. Stay with it. That feeling of discomfort, the initial one, will then go away. And continue holding it. As you're doing this, you're continually releasing, you're trying to let everything in the body relax and soften, letting tension melt off you. You'll start to feel it in your legs. When you do that, the first time, just get through it. The second time, release more, which will actually take you down a little bit more. From that place then, spend even just 15 seconds longer, and then stand up and take a break. Do this on your own, because you're watching this at home or wherever you're watching it, and work along with this. I can't see in the class, so I can't tell how everybody's doing. So I'm not going to know when to give you all breaks. But don't take a break right away, and don't just gradually creep up out of the posture. Stay down, Really work it. When you want to stand up, release down a little bit more. Give yourself a little bit longer there. And then actually stand up and shake your legs out. This standing up partway doesn't do any good. It doesn't build Tai Chi skill, and it actually doesn't save your legs. Your legs are still going to hurt. So go ahead and sit down in it. So let's do it again. We just did the opening move. So we're going to start with ward off left. Shift to the right, turn to the left. Now hold it here for a second. When you're in this posture, make sure that you've actually got your two hands right over each other. So the hearts of the palms are aligned. Watch for separations. If I change and I sit here like this, see, here my hands are not over each other. Actually get them over each other. Look at the front leg. The front leg is actually empty. You can pick it up and float it in place there. And try to relax everything. Try to soften your ankle so that it's not held up severely there, but it's actually sitting there. And while you're here, rear crown of the head suspended, tailbone dropped, tension melting off the body. Okay, now shift 100% forward, all the way into the front foot. Make sure you're not leaning. It's easy to lean here, especially if you've got something in the rear leg still happening. Get yourself upright, 100%. You've still got the ball of air. At this point now, my fingers are pointed exactly side to side. If I turn and face you, my top hand is pointed over towards the left wall. My bottom hand is pointed over towards the right wall. The two hands are right over each other. It's not angled anymore. It's come into a place where they're pointed side to side. Turn to the front corner. Take a step, heel first. No weight. Watch when you do that you don't lean. I'm not leaning to put that out there. The foot goes down. I can stay with it. And now shift. As you shift, the top hand drops. The bottom hand comes up. Ward off left. Hold it here a moment. Check your posture. Make sure your hips are pointed exactly square ahead. It's easy for the hips to be pointed a little to the side. So bend the front hip joint. Get yourself square. Release the rear hip joint. Make sure that you've got shoulder wide between the 2 feet. Make sure your rear foot is at an angle so the feet aren't parallel. It's turned out. The front hand is rounded. Palm faces the body. All 5 fingers are visible, not just 4 fingers with the thumb hanging down. Thumb's in the same plane. Bottom hand has dropped to rest on the head of that small child. Standing here and relaxing. Letting everything go. Sit down when you want to stand up. Ben would say holding postures is like a meditation. So while you're doing this, very focused, mind rests in the Dantian, noticing the struggle and letting it go. Very aware of where your body is, paying a lot of attention here. Okay, on to the next one. All the weight forward, top hand turns over, turn to the right, bottom hand turns over. 2 palms are directly over each other. You've got a ball of air. Right leg is empty. You can step. Shift, let the ball rotate. More weight forward, turn your waist, ward off right. Check it out, make sure the waist is square. If you didn't step wide enough, you won't be able to square your waist. So if after ward off left, I step with my heels in a line, like I just did, when I get to the end here, I won't be able to square my waist. So it may be that you didn't get enough width. Get your width. Get the 2 palms related to each other. Hip joints square. Whole body relaxing down. Sink down into the front foot. Sit back, left palm turns up. My waist is still faced to the right corner. I haven't come back square. And all of my weight is in the back foot, so I can float the front. roll back. Turn from the right corner to the left. Continue turning, let the arms swing. Turn back towards the front. All the weight is still in the back. And press. Waist square. Tension melting off of you. When you feel like standing up, sit down. When you need to, you can take a break, but make sure it's really when you need to. Sit back, palms turn down, hands separate, elbows drop into rear root. You know, 100%. Shift forward, pushing. And settle into the posture like a meditation. Mind rests in the Dantian. Whole body relaxing. When you want to stand up, sit down. Just a little bit longer, letting go, and take a break. So, grass sparrow's tail has 4 of the 8 core hand techniques. They're the 4 that we use all the time. And what these are, they're really ways that you express energy and force relative to yourself. So in Grass Sparrow's Tail, we get to work on the 4 key different ways to express energy. So in ward off is a thing that expands in every direction. So ward off is not linear. When I come into ward off left, I want to feel big all around me. It's not drooped. It's not pushing out linearly ahead of me. It's a ball that expands in every direction. So when we're in ward off, you want to feel expansion in every direction. Same thing when I'm in the second ward off. I'm not pushing forward, I'm expanding in all directions. Roll back is about taking an energy in and guiding it past you. So in roll back, we don't want to make a sharp change. Roll back isn't bring it in and force them past me. Roll back is a path that comes in and just misses me. If I'm doing roll back this direction, it comes in and just misses me. So it comes by here and I nudge it, persuade it, convince it to miss me. So I let the energy come in and I let it go past me. I'm not forcefully redirecting. Press is about 2 energies coming together. So there's the squeeze portion of press where the 2 hands are coming together. And then these 2 energies that come together unite and make a single energy that goes straight out. So I've got 2 things coming together that turn into one that goes straight out. Push is about a wave that comes through the whole body and goes out in a single direction. So in push, the wave first drops, rises, and goes away. So I want to watch those portions of the wave dropping, rising, and going out. At the end of push, my palms hang so that the hearts of the palms are facing away from me rather than pointing down to the ground. So at this part, they're dropping. At this part, they're rising. And then I settle and I let it go out, not down. I'm not trying to push my partner into the ground. If I do this with Beth, when I come into push and I get to the end of push, I'm not pushing her down. I'm not trying to take her down there. I want her to go out, away from me. So that's what I'm doing there. As she comes in and I first sink, I rise, she loses her root, I let her go. I don't want to put her back down onto the ground then. I'd sink, she rises, I say, oh no, she's going to fall over. Oh, let me put you back down. And that ends up with a push that at the end goes down. I don't want that. I want her to go away. So let's do them again. I want you to feel those 4 different energies. Expanding away from you, guiding something past you, two energies coming together and joining to be one that goes out, and a wave that comes through you and goes away. Let's do it again. We just did the first move. Okay, go ahead. Shift and turn. Shift. Turn to the corner and step. Start to shift, the top hand drops. Now expand, feel everything expanding as you come into the final posture. Feel rounded, you're like a balloon that's completely inflated. You're not just paying attention forward, you're paying attention forward and back, and side to side, and up through the top of your head and down to the ground. Continue. Shift and turn. Ball of air. Step, make sure you get enough width. Shift, that ball rotates. And now as you come forward, feel that expansion. Word off right. Not just going straight ahead. Feel forward and back. Feel side to side. Feel up and down. Into the front leg and sit into the back. Now this is where you draw something in and allow it to just miss you. Back towards the front, feel the two hands coming towards each other, squeezing. They join, ping out. Press. Press is very one-directional, right straight in front of you. Your two hands have come together, and that resultant energy is going straight ahead of you. Push, sit back, palms turn down. Okay, now settle into your rear leg and feel the wave come from your rear leg all the way up through the body to the hands and out. Look where your palms are facing. Are they facing down towards the floor in front of you? That's putting Beth back down onto the ground. Or are they facing out so that you could send something away? Great. Okay, I'm going to walk us through this one more time, holding every posture, and then I'm going to give it over to Beth, and she'll talk more about grass sparrow's tail. So, let's take it from the top. Let everything go, everything falls through you. Stepping, shift, body opens passively to the right, turn to the front. 50-50. Standing up, unlocked knees. Release the arms, let the arms float up. Feel from your feet out to your fingertips. The hands come back towards the body. The arms rebalance, elbows sliding back, wrists drop, fingers up, hands gradually coming down. Shift to the left, turn to the right. A ball of air. All the weight is in the back leg, front leg is empty. You've got a ball of air, the two palms are directly over each other. You're upright, not leaning. Letting everything just melt off of you. Like a meditation. Shift 100% forward. Letting the two hands rotate, so now the left fingers are pointed to the right side, right fingers are pointed to the left side. Rear leg has emptied, body is upright. All your weight is in the right. Turn to the corner. Step, heel first. Make sure you're going to have enough width. Make sure you're stepping slightly to the side so you'll have enough width for your 70-30. Shift. As you shift, the top hand drops. When you're about 50-50, now expand into the final posture, pivoting the rear foot on the heel. Feel this expansive quality. You're not just pushing forward. You're expanding out in every direction, like a balloon that's fully inflated. Releasing. When you notice discomfort, that's a sign of tension. Let it melt off you. When you want to stand up, sit down. Continue all the way forward, top hand turns over, turn to the right, bottom hand turns over. Now you've got a ball of air between the two hands. Step, heel first, make sure you get some width. That'll probably mean that you need to step to the side with that foot. Shift, foot goes down, ball rotates. Come forward, ward off right. Feel that same expansion in every direction. The arms are rounded. You're fully inflated. Let yourself drop into the front foot, opening to the right. Sit back. This is where you're going with the incoming energy. The right palm turns up. Left palm turns up. It's right next to the right elbow. You're still facing to the right. Turn from right to left. You haven't dropped your left hand yet. Now continue turning. Let the arms swing. Come back towards the front. Here's the squeezing of press. You're going to start shifting as you do that. Hands come together. One energy that goes straight out in front of you. Letting tension melt off of you. Sit back, palms turn down. Hands separate, elbows drop into rear root. Come forward. This is where you're lifting the other person, uprooting. Weight in the front, let go, let them go away from you. Palms are out, not down. Waist is square, rear crown of head is suspended. Sitting down. When you want to stand up, let go and melt deeper into the posture. Like a meditation. Tension melting off of you. Great. Take a break. We'll swap and we'll work some more on grasp the sparrow's tail.
Let's do some more with grasping the sparrow's tail. I want us to look at how the arms find their place. So Lee was talking about all of the different shapes and energies that we have in grasping sparrow's tail. Take ward off with me, ward off left. And as you stand here, you need to feel that the energy is connected through your feet and all the way out to your hands so that it goes through the whole body. That's how that feeling of expansion is going to come through you. Now, lift your front top arm just a little bit higher and feel how that breaks the connection through the whole body. Put some awareness down in the bottoms of your feet and then let your arm go and feel how that helps you reconnect to the ground, and that just a little bit of lifting will break that connection. And so rest your legs. When we do Tai Chi, we tend to put our hands in the right place, or where we think is the right place. And it's really easy to overshoot it and get it a little bit too high. So you want to find the place that the depth of your root can hold your arms up so that you're not having to hold them up from your arms, your chest, your shoulders, your back, and let them rest on the ground of your stance. So, Lee talked about making sure you take a nice deep stance. That's part of it. If you have a good deep stance, then there's a depth that your arms can ride on more easily. So come back to this ward-off position and take your other hand and put it here on your shoulder socket, chest, pecs area. And it needs to feel soft and resilient. Now let your arm come up just a little bit more and notice how right away that creates an extra tension and hardness up here in your chest. Now, let it back down to the place where it's held up by your feet and feel the softness that it creates up here on your chest. Now, let the arm hang down just a little bit more and feel how it takes away that resiliency. So this is what we call the Goldilocks principle. You want to find the place where it's just right. So find that place. Rest your legs. Let's do it in push. So switch your legs. Get your arms out there. And Lee talked about making sure that the energy comes out the palms, going forward, not going down. And so get your hands so that the palms are facing out. And see if you can feel them held up by the depth of your root. Bring them just a little bit higher. And notice what that does. Feel how now you have to hold. There's tension here. If you kind of touch this spot, you'll see that there's a more hardness going on. Your shoulders are involved. The across your back has some tension. And feel your feet. Feel what that does to your feet. Now, let it down. And feel how the whole body responds to having the arms in a place where they're really resting on top of the depth of your root. So that's what we want to look at to get those energies. It breaks the connection so that the feeling of, say, expanding in all directions goes away when the arm isn't held in the right place. So let's do it again, and we'll start at the very beginning and take a look at where the arms want to be in each of the final postures. So starting right here in the opening posture, we're going to do raise hands a few times before we move on. So as you stand here, begin. Feel the feet and get yourself connected to the ground and raise hands. As your hands are coming up, keep feeling your feet so that you know where you want to stop. We'll just go through it once and we'll do it again. So just really try to feel the place that your arms have a good connection all the way down to your root. And again, this time we're going to stop when the arms come up. Now, stand here a moment, feel the ground, feel your arms, notice where they are. Lift them up just a little bit higher and feel what that does to the connection through the whole body. Let them back down to the place where they can really ride on your root. And then they slide back. It may be lower than you think, but go with the feeling rather than the external idea of where your arms go. And one more time. Let it come up to the place where it's still connected. Notice where that is. Let everything down. So bring that feeling throughout. We'll take it from the top again. And begin. Arms come up, feeling your feet, making sure they stay connected through the whole body. Moving on. Notice where the arms come up to. We'll stop at the final posture. And stand here a moment and explore where your arms are, in particular the upper arm. Have you lifted it up? Can you soften and release and let it be held up by your legs? And continue. Notice what the ball of air is like. Are your hands held too high? And stop here. Same thing. You can test out your pecs, see if you're still soft. You want to feel your feet and make sure that the energy is connected from the feet all the way out to your hands. And continue. Sitting away from your fingertips, but it's still in a relaxed, soft place, not held up at all. Turn and press. And where are your hands? Play around with where you've got them. Find the place that they rest on top of your root, that they're buoyant because the depth of your root is holding them up, not the muscles in your arms and chest. I mean, of course, yeah, you've got muscles in your arms and chest, but you don't want to use them any more than is necessary to get in the right shape. Continue. And even as the hands rise, you're not rising them. And then they come out. Check it out. Palms face out. Arms are hanging from your socket, not held up at all. Feel the connection from the ground, all the way through the body and out to the hands as one continuous flow of chi. And rest your legs. So the classics tell us the movement is rooted in the feet. It is rooted in the feet. It's developed through the legs, directed by the waist, takes shape in the hands. That's not a one, then you go to the next, then you go to the next, then you go to the next. That's one continuous thing. What's in your feet, what's in the root, comes through all of you and is expressed in the hands. So if you come into a posture and raise your hand, now it's not the continuous chain. It can be a little deceptive. It can feel like you're nice and big and expressive and full of chi and everything else, and you can add a little bit extra. And that adding that little bit of extra actually takes you away from the place where it comes through the whole body and is expressed in the hands. So really look for that feeling as you go through the moves. Let's do it again. We'll just flow through it this time, but notice where your hands are ending up and see if they are ending up in a place that stays connected, or if when you move, it starts getting caught up in your arms. And go. How high are your arms? Are they connected through the ground? Expanding in all directions. Watch the arm that swings up. Doesn't need to go any higher than your whole being can put it. Hold the final posture. Can you let your arms down a little bit? Are you holding them up even a little? Get them where they're really riding with you. And take a break. So what happens is, if you put your hands somewhere that they didn't get from the ground, through the legs, through the waist, all the way out to the hands, it will be much harder to feel the shapes that Lee was talking about, the feeling of expansion in all directions. There's a moment when it stops expanding in all directions because I just lifted it up and now it's got tension in my arm and I'm feeling a different energy than when I let it just ride in the right place and have that expansive quality. So every one of these, the wave, once you've got the wave going and it comes back, it either comes through you and comes out, or it gets broken when you lift your arms up. So you want to find this, part of finding the shapes that Lee was talking about is making sure that the arms are supported by your root and not just going where your upper body thinks they belong. This can be deceptive, so keep coming back to it. Let's do a whole form, and I want you to keep bringing some awareness to this. You know, Professor Jung said that he made the long form short by taking out unnecessary repetitions, and we still have 4 grasping the sparrow's tails in the whole form. So if we do a whole form, we can keep coming back to this, and you can see how it's been playing out through the whole form. And you got 4 more chances to work on grasping sparrow's tail. And begin. Let the wave come through you and out your hands. When you sit away from them, how high are they? Make sure they're still resting on your root. Wrist is just shoulder height. You don't need to hold your hook arm high. high does the arm swing? Wrist in front of shoulder, elbow dangles. Another push. Make sure it's connected. Another roll back. Keeping your hands connected to your feet. Left arm stays high, but not too high. When the arm swings up, notice how high it needs to go. Keep feeling the connection through the whole body. The top hand in cloud hands is like ward off. So give it that expansive feeling at the conclusion of each move. Bottom hand relates to the dantian. And here we are at grasping sparrow's tail again. And here we are again, expanding outward in every direction. Roll back, letting something go past you. Press, squeezing together and expressing in one direction. And push like a wave. So the basis of the form is embedded in Penglu Jian, ward off, roll back, press and push, the four basic hand energies of grasping the sparrow's tail. So let each of those feel like different shapes. Let the movement come through the body and be a connected chain through it all. And relax. So hang around, ask questions, say hello. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining us.